Listen, most people spend their entire lives worrying about things that don't even matter. They worry about what others think. They worry about failing. They worry about problems that might never even happen. They replay the same scenarios in their mind over and over, imagining worst case outcomes. And while they are stuck in their thoughts, life keeps moving forward, whether they like it or not. Opportunities pass them by, dreams fade away, time disappears like sand slipping through your fingers. Every second wasted on fear is a second that could have been used to grow, to create, to take action. But here's the truth, simple and powerful. There are some things in life that strong people never worry about. They understand a rule that most people fail to grasp. If you waste your energy on fear and doubt, you will never have the strength to build the life you want. Your energy is your most valuable resource. And today, we're going to explore 6 things you should never worry about. Things that, if you internalize, will completely change how you approach life. Because life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Time doesn't wait. And worrying about things that are outside your control or things that don't matter will never bring you success or peace. The only way forward is to focus your energy on what counts, on building yourself, your discipline, your vision, and your purpose. One of the biggest drains on human energy is worrying about what other people think. From the moment we grow up, society teaches us to seek approval from our parents, our teachers, our friends, and even strangers. From childhood, we are conditioned to measure our worth by how others see us. What will people say becomes a question that haunts every decision. But here's the truth. The moment you start living for approval, you are no longer living your own life. You are living someone else's version of it. We change our decisions to avoid criticism. We hide our true thoughts. We mask our dreams. We play small to fit in. And yet, no matter how hard we try, someone is always judging. Someone will doubt your potential. Someone will question your choices. Someone will try to define your worth by their own limited understanding. Strong people understand this principle deeply. They know that opinions are just opinions. They are often shaped by fear, envy, ignorance, or misunderstanding. They do not reflect your abilities, your potential, or your future. When you hand over your power to what others think, you give away your freedom. You allow someone else's mind to run the program of your life. That's a dangerous path. It limits creativity. It slows growth. It traps you in mediocrity. Think about it for a moment. Every minute you worry about someone else's opinion, you are shrinking yourself. You are giving your energy to someone who may not even matter in the long run. Every time you hold back, every time you hide your true voice, you are delaying your destiny. You are postponing your greatness. You are putting your dreams on pause because of someone else's fear or bias. Imagine a life where you stop caring about approval. Every morning you wake up and do what you know is right for you. You take actions aligned with your goals, not someone else's standards. When people criticize, you listen if it is constructive, but you don't let negativity sink in. You don't shrink to fit someone else's mold. You expand, you grow, you become unstoppable. Strong minds also know that most people's opinions are based on their fears, limitations, and experiences, not on reality. A person who has never achieved something may doubt your ability to succeed. A friend or family member who has never stepped outside their comfort zone may question your vision. Their perspective is not your reality. You don't have to prove anything to anyone except yourself. The only judgment that matters is your own. How consistent are you? How committed are you to your goals? How much effort are you putting in? Here's the truth many don't realize. The more you try to please everyone, the more you please no one, including yourself. You cannot control how people perceive you. You cannot predict how someone will react. Opinions are fleeting, constantly changing, and often irrelevant. But your vision, your purpose, your grind, those are yours alone. Protect them. Guard them fiercely. Strong people also create boundaries. They don't engage with constant negativity. They don't let critics steal their peace. They know when to listen, when to act, and when to ignore. Every second wasted on judgment is a second stolen from progress. Every worry about approval is a distraction from building the life you deserve. So start today. Let go of the need for validation from others. Stop measuring your progress by reactions, likes, or opinions. Focus on your own path. Build your skills. Take consistent action. Trust yourself. When you free yourself from this invisible burden, life shifts. You feel lighter. Decisions come easier. Fear of judgment disappears. You move through the world with clarity, focus, and confidence, unshaken by opinions that were never yours to carry in the first place. Remember this, your worth is not defined by someone else's perspective. Your potential is not limited by someone else's doubt. Strong people understand this deeply. They live by their own rules, guided by purpose, vision, and unwavering commitment. Stop worrying about what others think, and you will unlock freedom, energy, and a power you never knew you had. Start today. Build your life your way. Live your truth. Move forward without apology. And remember, no one else's opinion has the power to define you unless you let it. Another major obstacle in life is the fear of failure. Most people spend more time imagining what could go wrong than taking action to make things right. They rehearse scenarios where they fail, imagining ridicule, loss, or disappointment. This fear grows stronger with every what-if thought they entertain. And before they know it, they are frozen, paralyzed by the possibility of failure, too afraid to take even the first step. But here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is a teacher. Failure is feedback. And every successful person in history has walked through failure before reaching greatness. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team before becoming a legend. Entrepreneurs lose money, make mistakes, and stumble multiple times before building thriving businesses. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is simple. Strong people view failure as feedback, not defeat. Every failure holds a lesson. It reveals what doesn't work. It exposes gaps in knowledge, preparation, or strategy. It shows you what to adjust, what to improve, and where your focus must go next. Worrying about failure does not prevent it. It prevents learning. It keeps you stuck, paralyzed, afraid to take the next step. But when you embrace failure as part of the journey, it loses its power over you. Suddenly, every challenge becomes an opportunity. Every risk becomes a chance to grow. Every setback becomes a stepping stone towards your vision. Strong people understand one more thing: failure is temporary, but regret lasts forever. Wasting years worrying about failing means losing precious time that could have been spent experimenting, learning, and advancing. Life does not reward perfectionists, it rewards doers. Action, even if imperfect, produces results. No action produces nothing. The moment you stop obsessing over what could go wrong and start taking calculated steps toward your goals, you position yourself to succeed in ways you never imagined. Fear of failure is often tied to ego. We worry about how others will perceive us if we stumble. We imagine embarrassment, rejection, shame. But strong minds detach from ego. They detach from external validation. They understand that temporary discomfort is part of the process. They are willing to fall, to stumble, and to rise stronger. Every mistake becomes fuel for growth. Every loss a teacher. Every challenge a test of resilience. Think about it like this. If you never fail, you never push boundaries. If you never risk, you never grow. If you never step outside your comfort zone, you never discover what you are truly capable of. Strong people embrace the possibility of failure because they know the greatest achievements are often hidden behind fear. The very thing you are afraid of often contains the key to your success. So today, make a decision. You will no longer let fear of failure control your actions. Accept that mistakes will happen. Accept that setbacks are part of life. Accept that you may fall, but each fall brings a lesson, a perspective, a new strategy. Focus on consistent action, learning from errors and moving forward. Strong people also plan for failure, but they don't dwell on it. They prepare, adjust, and keep moving. They understand that failure is part of the journey, not the end of it. It is a natural step toward mastery, toward growth, and toward your goals. Remember, the only real failure is giving up. Every stumble, every loss, every mistake is temporary if you keep moving. What you feared the most can become your greatest teacher. What you feared might hold the key to your success. Failure is not fatal. It is fuel. It is power. It is information that allows you to rise higher, stronger, and wiser than before. So stop worrying about failing. Step into action. Take risk. Make mistakes. Learn. Improve. Grow. And never forget, your courage to keep moving forward is the only thing that determines your destiny. The third and final keynote is understanding the limits of your control. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to control things that are simply beyond their reach. They stress about the economy, about other people's decisions, about situations that may never even happen. They replay negative scenarios in their mind repeatedly, imagining worst-case outcomes, building mountains out of molehills. And in the process, they waste the most valuable resource they have: time and energy. Strong people know one simple truth. You cannot control everything, but you can control yourself. You cannot control the actions of others. You cannot control every circumstance or unexpected problem. You cannot force outcomes to align perfectly with your desires. But you can control your mindset, your discipline, your effort, your responses. That is where your power truly lies. Think about it like this. Worrying about what you cannot control is like trying to row a boat with no oars. You're expending energy, getting nowhere, and feeling exhausted. You're draining yourself while the world keeps moving. But when you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, you turn that energy into momentum. You become proactive instead of reactive. You create opportunities instead of waiting for luck. Life will always be unpredictable. People will disappoint you, plans will change, circumstances will shift, challenges will appear when you least expect them. Trying to control all of it is a trap that leads to frustration, anxiety, and wasted potential. But strong people accept that uncertainty is part of life. They don't pretend they can control the uncontrollable. They focus on the actions that matter, the moves they can make, the improvements they can implement, and the mindset they can maintain. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It does not mean giving up. It means understanding where your effort is effective and where it is wasted. It means conserving your energy for what truly counts. Strong people adapt, improvise, and respond with calmness and clarity rather than panic. They understand that stress over uncontrollable circumstances only clouds judgment and prevents progress. Imagine a world where you stop worrying about the uncontrollable. You wake up each day with energy reserved for building, creating, and improving yourself. You respond to challenges with focus instead of frustration. You move through setbacks with a clear mind and steady heart. Life suddenly feels lighter. Your progress accelerates. You realize that the only thing that can truly stop you is yourself. Here's an example. Think of an athlete preparing for a big game. They cannot control the crowd, the referee, or the other team's strategy, but they can control their training, their focus, their mindset, and their preparation. By concentrating on what they can control, they maximize their performance. Worrying about things outside their control would only drain their energy and reduce their chances of success. Strong people build resilience by practicing this mindset consistently. They prepare for contingencies, adapt to circumstances, and improvise when necessary. Challenges become opportunities to grow rather than threats to their peace. Obstacles become teachers instead of enemies. They shift energy from fear to effort, from complaining to building, from worry to action. Today, commit to letting go of things you cannot control. Free your mind from unnecessary stress. Focus on the one thing you always have power over, yourself, your thoughts, your effort, your choices, your discipline. This shift alone transforms your life. Fear becomes focus, anxiety becomes action, obstacles become stepping stones. Your energy, once wasted on worry, is now invested in progress, growth, and purpose. Remember this, life will always bring unpredictability. People will doubt you. Problems will appear when you least expect them. But none of that has the power to stop you unless you allow worry to control your mind. Strong people think differently. They focus on building, improving, and becoming. They understand that control begins with themselves. So today, stop worrying about the uncontrollable. Take action where you can. Improve yourself relentlessly. Stay disciplined. Protect your energy. And watch how life responds when your focus is sharp, your mind is clear, and your efforts are intentional. When you do this, fear loses its grip, anxiety fades, you reclaim your peace, your confidence, and your power. You move through the world with clarity, strength, and purpose. Nothing external can derail you unless you let it. So let go of the worry slowing you down. Focus on your purpose. Stay disciplined. Take consistent action. Build your skills. Learn every day. And remember one simple rule that can change your life forever. Never let worry control the direction of your journey. Keep moving forward and keep running your marathon. Your energy is precious. Your life is precious. Every second spent worrying is a second wasted. Choose courage over fear. Choose action over hesitation. Choose yourself over the opinions of others. When you do this, you are no longer just living, you are thriving. You are building a legacy. You are creating a life of purpose, clarity, and power.